Christmas cards alphabetically. My mother, I hate you! My dad, I hate you. Hate, 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 hate. Double hate. Loathe entirely. I love that quote so much. I love my family, really. They're my world. Right, guys, I'm going to dive into Christmas reviews today for you. Now, I stated on Instagram that I'm going to do individuals reviews for 3 different Christmas movies, but I really don't have time for it, unfortunately. I do apologise. I have so much shit going on this month, and movies I'm yet to see and yet to review. I still haven't seen Ralph Breaks the Internet. I haven't seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I haven't seen Mortal Engines yet. I want to do reviews of every single one of them, so I really need to get cracking. So I'm going to mash these Christmas movies up into one ranking video. Christmas is a time and you share with your family, and it is the most festive season of the year. Now, yes, I'm a bit of a Grinch on the build towards it, but Christmas Day as a whole, it's a jolly good time. And, no pun intended. So I just thought I'd just ram it all into one video. Now, I'm going to give everyone a heads up. There may be a slight delay with many reviews that are coming up. For example, I still live with my parents and I'm not ashamed of it. But I'm not the sort of person that can just stick a camera on and talk to you guys while my parents are in the house. I mean, this is actually my parents' living room and I need the privacy of just me being here. And the only time I really get that is when my parents are at work and my daughter's at school. And as long as I'm not at work either. I do have a day job. I'll do this full time if I could. And so there may be some reviews that may end up being at the start of 2019. Particularly my end of year ranking videos. They might end up being in sort of the end of December towards the start of January. Although it technically will be a ranking video of 2018 films. Right, guys, so I'm going to dive into my Christmas movies reviews. There's only 4 that I like in particular. Yes, before the comment section attacks me, I do consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, but it's not included on this list, mainly because I class it more in the action genre. So if I were to do a video of best action films, Die Hard would be way up there. It really would. But to me, I'm starting off with the basic Christmas films, which all pretty much, follow the same sort of formula. For example, parents are dumb, Santa's actually real. That's what most Christmas movies follow, and the parents don't believe it. They discover the magic of Christmas. It all follows the same thing, technically. So I thought I'd pick, a couple which I think are different. Now, first off, I'm going to dive into my first one. Number 4 and last place, Jingle All the Way. Yeah, the film is not good in the slightest, but it's one film that I rewatch every single Christmas for the absolute absurdity of the whole thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a really likeable guy. And put the cookie down! I love that so much. Okay, now that film is, I remember the first time I put it on when I was only maybe 14 years old. It was absolutely insane. I couldn't believe the amount of stupid things that were happening. Arnold Schwarzenegger chasing a kid into a ball pit, getting labelled a pervert, the bomb threat that went off in the radio studio with Sinbad. It's just completely crazy. But what I like about it is that it holds something which could actually happen, like how crazy people can get around Christmas. Maybe not to that extent, but relationships between fathers, kids, you struggle to get somebody something. The last minute dad as usual. I've done it. I have many times. Last minute Jim Bob. My mum even calls me, last minute James. And I thought to myself, I can connect to this film on an emotional level, despite the absurdity of it. The thing which really makes me laugh is the ending of the film. The third act is where Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's in his Turbo Man suit, he's whizzing all around the place quicker than Iron Man, and it just makes no sense. I crease myself laughing every single time. Like, when did this suddenly become like, a kid's cartoon film? All of a sudden, just in the third act. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So, that brings me up to number 3, and that is Jim Carrey's The Grinch. I think I own that. Right there, I own it on DVD. I might buy it on Blu-ray, actually. As you can see, my opening to this video was a quote from that particular film. I've never actually seen the original Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I've only seen this version and the one that came out this year, which wasn't very good at all. My daughter enjoyed it, but not me. That's why I didn't bother reviewing it. I thought if I'm going to do a review, it's going to be about the Jim Carrey's Grinch. He is the Grinch. Now, a lot of people don't like this film, and I reckon it's because they grew up with the original cartoon, but I didn't. I grew up with Jim Carrey's Grinch. He is the Grinch. And it's hard to believe when you look at Cindy Lou Who and what she's become. A man can dream, right? And the very spirit of Christmas, a guy hates it. Suddenly he figures it out that it's really being alone that he doesn't like, not the actual day itself. And Jim Carrey, how did he go through that makeup process every day? I don't know. But the Grinch has always held a special place in my heart. I still find it funny to this very day. Jim Carrey, you are a legend. So, coming in at number 2 is Home Alone. Now, I bet everyone thought I might put this number 1, right? The thing about Home Alone I like the most is that how stupid some people can be. Why would you leave your son at home and not even notice until you get on the goddamn plane? Where were social services at this point? Why are the cops such douchebags? But I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were growing out my ass. There's some really stupid lines in this film, but it makes it all the more enjoyable. Lines from Buzz, and another one from, I think, Kevin's uncle. Look what you did, you little jerk. But the thing is, I believe it was a bottle of Coke or something. I remember it being brown liquid or something. Spilt on the uncle's dinner, but it wasn't even Kevin's fault. And I like how everyone stares directly at Kevin, blaming him. And it brings you back to some thoughts you may have had as a kid. Like, sometimes you wish your family would disappear. I wished it before. I've told my family I've hated them when I was a kid. But really, you realise all along that you do love them. And this film connects to everyone on that, on such an emotional scale. You may hate them sometimes, but they're your family at the end of the day, depending on the circumstances. So Home Alone is an absolute classic. The booby trap sequence is hilariously funny, brilliant editing, and you know, Macaulay Culkin, he's at the time one of the best child actors in the world. Child acting has improved immensely since then, but this film still holds out pretty well. But coming in at number 1 for me is a movie which I've watched every single year without fail since I first saw it. And me and my family watch it every Christmas Eve. Yes, Christmas Eve, because we're too damn busy on Christmas Day. So, Christmas Eve, we watch A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Oh, I love this movie so much. The Muppets have always been a great thing to me growing up as a kid. And it's just amazing that this is the only adaptation of the film I actually like. I've seen so many versions of A Christmas Carol. Like, there was a version, I think Jim Carrey played Ebenezer Scrooge. It was a computer animated one. It was released in 2009 roughly. I remember actually going to I think Bradford Museum and watching a screen test for it or something. But Michael Caine is Ebenezer Scrooge. He is the true bar humbug, and this film connects to everyone. Again, on an emotional scale. These movies seem to connect to me on an emotional scale, but A Muppet's Christmas Carol does it the best. The Muppets are iconic characters which we all grew up with as kids, and we re-show this to our kids. They re-show it to them, and it'll just continue on forever and ever and ever. A Muppet's Christmas Carol is the true magic of Christmas, and it just gets me all warm inside whenever I watch it. Can't wait to watch it again. I will Christmas Eve. So guys, what did you think of this very short ranking list? I know it's only 4 films, and again, I do apologise if you don't hear much from me in the coming month. It's a very busy time for me, and of course I need the house to myself, because I'm not that ballsy just yet. I'm working on moving out. I've got myself on the council of the area that I live in, and I'm going to get myself out soon. My family, I love them to bits, they are my world. But there's a time in everyone's life where they just want to, be their own man. Okay guys, so let me know what you thought down below in the comments. Remember, you are awesome. Merry Christmas.